Welcome to WiseLink Academy. For today, we're trying to produce the isometric projection, or perhaps the isometric view you are seeing at the right hand side of the screen. To produce that isometric is very simple. I'll try my possible best to break that stuff there, break it down. So what do you do first? I said when it comes to isometric drawing, your first task is to what? Is to produce out your isometric axis, right? So first things first, I'll produce out my isometric axis. So I'll draw a horizontal line this way. As you can see, my horizontal line. Then I'll draw a vertical line, as in this case, right? A vertical line, as in this case here. A vertical line upward. Let me use this point here. A vertical line upward this way, right? Such that I'll take my t-square inclined, right, at an angle of 30 degrees this way, and I'll take it down this way, right? So this is what we refer to isometric axis, right? So I'm done producing out my isometric axis. What's my next task? My next task is to confirm my dimension. I need to get length, my entire length, breadth, and height of that figure. So to get my entire length, of course, my entire length there is given to be, observe, I'm seeing my entire length there is given to be 20 plus 32 plus 32, right, which I'll have 84. So my entire length here is 84. So measure 84 out using my meter rule. 84. So here is 84, which I have here. My next task is to get my length here. This is breadth. Let's get length. The length is given to be 40 plus 40 plus, there's a radius of 15 to the left and right, that which is 15 plus 15. I'll have 110. So my entire length here is 110. That is 110. That's 11 to this point here. My entire height, please check the height. I'm given the height to be 100. As you can see, I'll have that 100 plus the radius of the diameter 44, which is what, 22. I have 122. So my entire height there is 122. So 122, that's 12.2. This is 12.12, 12.2 at this point. So your task is just know the length, breadth, and height. Here's 84. Here is 112, and here is given to be 110, as we did. So now let's use this to form a box. I'll take this point here, take it upward, right? I'll take it upward. Take this point here upward, and also come to this point here, take this point upward, right? And I'll use this one here, connect this point here to this. Similarly, I'll connect this point here, this one here, to this, right? As you can see, and I'll take my t-square this way around. I'll connect this one here down this way, and I'll use this to close it up. Take this up this way a little bit, and I'll close this part here up, right? So I have this figure you are seeing in front of you, right? So it's from this figure now that isometric is being got from. So let's start by producing out our first task. All right, let's start with, observe that at the back here there's a length of 20. I'll measure 20 from here to here is 20, and it's ticking. I'll tick in it, right? Of course, there's an height of 66. So measure 66. 66 from here to here is 66, right? And it's ticking, so I'll thicken it this way, right? Of course, I will take the point upward this way, then I'll close it up. I'll close this one to the point I drew upward this way, then I'll thicken it. I'll close back, I'll thicken it this way. All right, we have successfully produced out that you're seeing at the side of this isometric drawing. So coming back to the front here, there's an arc, there's a curve at the front here, two curves, right? So let's get out the curves, right? To get out the curve is quite simple process. First, I'll measure 15 in first. So 15 in, that's 1.5. 15 in, right? 15 in, this 15 here, and also 15 in here, 1.5. 15 in. So I'll be left with what? 80. As you can see, automatically 80. So get the center of 80, which is 40. Here is 40, the center, right? So at that center there, I will draw a faint vertical line. As in this case, I'll draw a faint vertical line this way, as you can see, right? So I will take my compass. There's a bigger arc. There's an arc here. The bigger one is given to be R32. So that's radius 32. I'll make 32. 32 from here to here is 32 to this point here. I'll take the arc here, strike an arc 1 and 2 this way, then 3 and 4, right? So do it to the up, down, left and right, as in this case. So I will take each point. Let me show you. So I'll track it up, left, right and down this way. So I'll take each point this way. So I'll take this point here where it meets here, take it down with a faint line. Take this point here too, down with a faint line. As you can see, now use this one here to close them up. I'll close this point here to this, right? I'm using the principle of ordinate method of construction of circle to produce out that, right? So I'll link up this to this way. I'll take this down this way, right? So that I will take this one here down to touch this point here, right? So this is what I have here. So it means that, observe please, I'll be using the principle of ordinate method of construction of circle. So I will take the longest diagonal together. This point here to this is my longest diagonal, as you can see. Then I will take this point to touch this one to this, then this point here to this. As you can see what I'm doing. So I need this point and this point here. So let's get at the first curve there. I'll take my compass at this point here. I'll join this to this way with a thick line, as you can see, right? Next up, I'll come to this point here and I'll join this point here to this, as you can see. This is like the first curve we have just produced, right? The other curve is given to be R18, as you can see. So let's measure 18. R18, 1.8. Here to here is 1.8, right? So at this point, the center again, at the center, strike up, left, right and down this way. With this 1 2 3 4, with these 4 points, I'll create out a square box. Take this one here, take it down, take this point here, take it down this way, and I will close them up. I'll take this to touch this, right? And I'll take this one here to touch this one here. As you can see, a square box there. All right, I have already joined my longest diagonal already, so I'll just take this point here to touch this. We call this principle ordinate method of construction of circle. So I need this point, right? So I'll take my compass again. At this point here, I'll draw a curve. You can see my curve, right? I have this curve here. Then I'll come to this tip here, come connect this point to this, right? So I have what you're seeing at the right hand side of the screen. So I can just close this point up, can close this to this, and I can close this to this, right? Since it's closed there. All right, my next task now is to observe. Please observe, very very important here. This is where the work comes in. So I will take each point down, right? So I'll take this one here, this edge here, I will take it down this way, extend it down this way. Then I'll come to this up part here too, this one here, this point, take it down with a faint line. I'll come to this point here too, take it down with a faint line. And also there's one last one here, this one here, this point here, take it down with a faint line. So I have this here. Of course, what's my next task? Next task is to observe closely, please. Observe closely. There is a distance that we're considering now. All right. Before we proceed, after taking this and this in, this inward and this inward, call this 1, call this 2, call this 3, and call this 4, as in this case. All right, my next task now is that I need to observe closely, right? I measured from here to here is 20. So this is from here to somewhere here is 32, right? 32. At that center 32, that's why I drew a curve. There's a curve here, So measure 32. From here to here is 32, right? So at that 32 there, I'll take a line upward this way. Take this line upward this way, right? So at that 32 there, there's a height of 22, right? Height of 22. So my task there is quite simple. I'll take this point here, this one here, I'll take it inward, right? I'll take this inward this way, right? Such that I'm going to transfer this point here, this one here, I'll transfer it to this point here. So this point here is touching this point on this one here, right? So I'll take that point here too, take that point upward too, right? What's my next task? Next task is that observe that the height of that curve here is 22 upward. So measure 22, or perhaps better still, I can, okay, 22 upward. Okay, then 22 from here to here, 22 upward, right? So I've gotten the height there. Then I'll take the height this way inward. I'll take the height here inward to touch this one here. So I have this. This is the height of that curve, right? Just through my procedure. What's my next task here? Of course, my next task is to get the radius. The radius is going to be R15. So measure 15. Observe please, 15, 1.5, 15. Come to this point here, strike an arc. 1, right, and 2 this way. Come to this point here, strike an arc inward. 1 and 2 this way. So with these two arcs, I will take this one here I'll take this down this way, right? So next task is that this same 15, I'll take it up 1 and take it down here 2, right? So I'll use them to form a box. I'll use it to form a box, right? Okay, okay, it's not meant to be straight. I'll delete this, delete this, delete this. Since I've marked an arc of 15 here, so I'll take it this way. I'll take it this way, right? This way. So I've measured 15 in this way. Then I'll take it this way, 15 here and 15 here, this way, right? So my task now is to create a box with those arcs. Take this way. I'll take this way. Then I'll use this one here to close them up. This one here to close them up this way. So I have this, close this one up a little bit. So I have this, right? My task now is to also draw the connect longest diagonal. So here to here. Then I'll use my ordinate method. Connect here to this point, right? And I will connect here to this point this way. So I'll create out the first curve there, right? So come to this point here. I'll connect this to this curve, this to this, right? This curve to this. So this way. I have this. Next up, my other curve from here. I'll join this to this point to this point, right? Hang on, I have to delete this. I'll come to this point here. I'll connect this point to this way. So I have this, the first curve there, right? Of course, I'm going to take point downward. I'll take this point here down this way. I'll take this point here. I'll take it down, right? I'll take this point here. I'll take it down. I'll take this point here, take it down, and this one here too, take it down this way, such that I use those points to create a box, right? I can measure 22. The line I drew down here, from here to here is 22, right? So, all right. So 22, this 22 here, I'll take it in this way, right? Don't forget that we said from here to here 22. So this one has been created already, right? So I'll take this one on this point here, this one here to touch this, as you can see. Now take this one here, this one to touch this. So observe, I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4, like a square. So I'll connect this longest diagonal this way together, right? Then I can easily transfer points. I'll take this point here, this one here, take it here, this one here, this point here, I'll take it here, right? Such that I can just take this one, this point here, connect this to this, and then I'll use my T-square to connect this point to this. So this is my center here, center there. So I will use my principle of ordinate method of construction of circle, right? So I will take my compass here. Observe please, I'll take my this point here. I'll connect this point to this, and I'll also connect that same point to this. I have this, right? So I'm going to create a curve here. come to this point here. I'll connect this and this together. Hang on. Okay, come to this point here. I'll connect this and this point together, right? Connect this, set it very well, this and this together, right? This way. Observe, I have this, right? I have this. Of course, so my task there is to close this part here to this, right? As I did, and I'll use this point here, this one here, to make this curve here, as you can see, right? So my next task now is to come to this side here. At this side here, I have marked 15 here, 15 here. So I'll take them this way, take this one this way, and I'll take this one this way, right? Such that I will measure that same 15. We said from here to here is 15. So come to this point here, 15 here and 15 here. So I'll take my this square this way. I'll connect this to this, right? And I'll also connect this to this. So I've gotten a square there. Let me connect this very well. So I'll join longest diagonal together from here to here, and I'll use my concept of ordinates. Connect this and connect this way. So with this point here, this one and this, I'll likely produce out the curve there. So connect this point here, this one to this. I'll try to connect these 2 points together, right? As you can see. Next up, I'll come to this point here and connect this to this, right? So I have that curve there. All right, proceeding from that curve, I will extend point downward. I'll take this point here down. I'll take this point here, take it down. I'll take this point here, take it down. Please observe what I'm doing. Take this point here, take it down, and take this point here, take it down this way, right? So the first point I took down, I'll measure out that same 22, the height of 22, right? Or perhaps better still, I can still pen down one. I can pen this one. I can still leave it for now because I have a curve, a kind of line that is going through this place here. Well, hang on for now, hang on. Let's leave this one pending for now. Let's dive into something, right? So I'm going to measure from this point here, this one here. I'm going to measure 17 inward, 17, right? So from here to here, 17 inward. At this 17 here, you know, we drew a line of 1, 2, then all right, after measuring 17, so I have this point 1, 2, 3 and 4 as I've extended them. All right, so I'll take that 17 to this point here. So this is like the first point, second point. I'll take that 17 to this point here, right, to this point 1 here, on that point here. That 17, this point here, I'll take it to meet this one here, which is on that point here. So then I'll use this to close up this point here, right? So I have like a square box here again, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You can see. So I'll use the principle of ordinate method again. I'll come to this point, close, draw a diagonal line. In this case, when I'm done with that, my task there is to get my center. So this point here, mark it here, right? Or perhaps this is okay. Okay, I'll mark this center point here, this one here. I'll mark it here, right? And also observe, and also the center here, the center to this one here, this point here, right? I'll transfer it here. So I will take this point here, I'll take it down this way, right, to touch this one to this point here. This, then I'll take this one and just drew here, this one here, down to this place. So my center is at this point here, right? So I haven't gotten my center. What's my next task? Of course, my next task now is to take this point here. I'm connecting this point here to this point here. So this one to this, right? So I need this point, and also I'm connecting this point here to this. So that's what I have here. So I'll use that concept here, that principle method of construction of ellipse, right? So I will come down here this way at this point here, then I will draw a curve, right? So from here down somewhere here is the curve, right? But I don't need this entire curve, right? This entire curve, I don't need it. What I just need is I just come to this point here, and I'll close this to this, right? I'll close this one here to this a little bit, faint, with a faint line. So close here to here, the faint line. Then I can just come back here again and draw some little curve, right? A little curve. I might join it together this way, faint line first, faint line first, right? I haven't done that curve. I can just easily tick here to this, right? Then take here to this, such that I can come back now from here to here. I can now take in this part. So I have this after taking it, right? Such that I can use my meter rule to join this point to this up, right? So you can see what I'm having. All right, I will take this point here, this one here. I'll close it with this thick line. Now I'll come down here, I'll connect this to this with a thick line, right? Similarly, of course, at this point now, my next task now is to pick up my French curve. This, we call this French curve, right? We call this French curve. And I can also use a compass, but to save time, right, I want to try to use this one here. Of course, I'm given, there's a smaller circle there of 15, right? So which I'll use this 15 here. So I'll take it here, I will gauge it, right? So I'll have that 15, draw it this way, right? And come here to that 15, I will gauge it. So I'll draw it this way to save time. So that's my circle there, as you're seeing in front of you. When you are done with this, what next? We need to produce out it is a kind of cylinder up here. So my task is to take this point, the center, this center here, we established earlier, transfer it here, right? As you can see, next up, I'm going to that center here, take it down to this center here, right? Let me show what I'm doing. All right, let's work on this, please. Working on this, I'm going to take this point here. Of course, I'll take it down this way, right? Of course, the diameter of the bigger circle there is given to be diameter of 44, so measure 22, right? Measuring 22, measure 22. At this point here, I'll strike an arc up, down, left, and right, as in this case. Then I'll use my concept, the same concept I've been using, ordinate method concept. I'll transfer this point here down. So I'll take this point here, this one here, I'll take it down, right? As in this case, I'm going to take this point here, this way around. I'll take this point here, this way, right? As you can see, this is what I'm having here. So this means that with this point here, I'm going to project them downwards. Project them down. Take this one here. I'll take this point down. I'm going to take this point here too, down. This point here, down, and finally, okay, I've taken this point here too, has come down, has joined this. So I'm given that the entire length of that figure is 40. So from here to here is 40, right? So I'll use that 40 to create an other box. This 40 to this, take this to this point here, right? This one to this. Now take this point to this point here. Now take this to close them up, right? Close them up this way. I have this, right? Of course, my first task now is to come down to this point, join the longest diagonal. Now use my ordinate method, this to this, and then this to this. So similarly, what I'll do now is that I'll come to this point here, and connect this point to this, as in this case, and I come to this point here. So coming down to this point here, I'll try to close here, of course, here to here together, but with a faint line first, a faint line this way. So I have that curve here. So my next procedure, also come to this point, right? I'll gauge it, faint line first. So I have this, right? So I will not do the complete this one here because the cylinder is not complete circle at the bottom here. I can't see this part. So what's my next task? My next task now is to also join the longest diagonal here together and get my center. Of course, here's my center. This point here is my center here, right? This point here is my center. I'll draw a line this way, right? So of course I can easily take this one this way. I have this, right, to draw a cross there. Alright, my next task now is to take this point here to this, and also this point here, right, to this. So I'm going to draw my complete circle here. Come here, take to this one here. I'm going to gauge this point to this point to this. As you can see what I'm doing, come to this point here, close this to this. So this case, come to this point here, I'll close them up, right? This point to this, with a thick line. So I'll take my compass at this point here, right, and close these 2 points up. This point here, close here and here together. As you can see what we're having, Next task is that I can easily connect this to this way, such that I will go back there and thicken these two parts, this part here, from here right to here. Just close here up, right? Next task is that observe that I'm going to measure the thickness of 10 inward. So measure 10 from here to here is 10, right? I'll transfer that point 10 down here and also down here. I'll form another square, right? Now take that 4 to touch this line, this one here, right? This one here. Then similarly I can now close them up, right? I can now close it up, this one here to this. I have another square there, so this is, let's call this 1, 2, 3 and 4 to avoid confusion, right? After measuring that 10, my next task is to join longest diagonal. Join 1 and 4 together. When I'm done with 1 and 4, my task there is to get the center. So I'll transfer this point, the center point here, to this, and similarly the center point here, that is this part here, this one here, transfer it here. So if I take this point down, this one, take it down, and also this one here, if I take this one this way, right, they both meet at this point here. That's my center, right? So with that point there, I will use my ordinate method again from here to here, right? And also observe, and also hang on, yes, and also I'll take this point here to this point. Of course, this is what I'm looking at, this one here, look at it, this one, looking at this, right? This is longest diagonal here, and this is my center here. So connect this to this way, right? Such that I'm going to come down to this 3 and connect this to this with a faint line, to just a faint line. I'll not close it up, finish, just a faint line, a little bit faint line. Then I can just come to the proceeding. I'll take my at point 3 here, strike this arc. I'll not touch it, make it touch here, or perhaps you can still make it touch it this way with a faint line. Then I'll come down to this point here, and I'll connect this with a faint line also, right, this way with a faint line, curve this way. Observe what I want to do now. Observe this place. I'm going to take this part here, connect it down here with a thick line, right? Then this curve here, I'll try to thicken it. I'll try to thicken the curve, which I did from here to here. Thicken it. I have this, I have it, right? Then I'll come to this point here, to this point here, to this point, and measure out 10. So from here to here is 10, right? So I'll link this one here to this tip, to this place this way, right? And I'll also come to this point here and measure 10. That 10 here, this one here, transfer it to this point here. So this is what I have here. This is what I have here. So this means that I'm going to thicken this part here too. Come to 3. I'll close here to here together. As you can see with the thick line, I have what you're seeing there. Next task is to come back to this point and thicken this arc well, because I've seen what I want to use now. This point this way, right? So I have what you're seeing there. So there's a curve, there's a curve inner here, and the curve is given to be what? Diameter of 22, so that's 11. So I'll use my French curve, this one here, so to draw the curve, right? So I've done the curve there, so I have to save time. So my next task now is that, observe please, next procedure from here is to take this point here, this edge here, I'll take it up this way, right, such that this edge here, I will extend it down to that line I drew up here. This is where they meet. So I'll connect this point where they meet to this way, right, as you can see. All right, my next task now is to also take this one here, take it down with a thick line, close this up the thick line this way. So I have what you're seeing at the right hand side of the screen. All right, let's get this done, please. Proceeding from here, my next task now is to observe very well, observe closely please. There's a kind of curve at the back of this, a curve here, right? So let's present the curve. Don't forget that we just extended some points, this point 1, 2, 3, right, and 4. Let me show you the 4 and 4. This 4 here, we extended them in from the first place, right? So I want to measure out 64, right? 64 from here to here, 64. So here to here, 64. So at this point here, I'll form a box with a square, right? Connect this to this. So this is my first point. My second point I need, I'll connect this point to this. This is 1 here. Of course, this is line 1. So I'll connect this to this line 1. I'll draw a star there. I need this point here too. And I will take, this is 3, down this way. So join it to me 3. Line 3 is at this point here. This is line 3 here. I need this point here too. And finally connect them together, as in this case here. Alright. So from there, my next concept there is to draw a diagonal line, right? So my next task here is to get a center after drawing diagonal line. Alright, so get center. So transfer this center here, this one, to this point here, alright, and this one here to this point here, such that I'll take them down, take this point here down, and I'll take this one too down this way. So what I just need there is this point here. I'll connect this point, this one here, this one to this point, right, this way. Observe, this way, right. I have this such that I'll take this one here to the back this way, up here, right. I have this. Next task is that I haven't done that. I will take this point here down a little bit, such that this one here can easily link up with this, and I'll take this with this line here in this way, right, such that this connects with this. My next task is to observe closely. At this point here, I'll measure 10, right? There's a 10, a thickness of 10 at that point there. So use my compass. I'll measure 5. This is 5. So come to this point here, left and right. Come to this point here too, this one here, left and right. With those 2 points, this 5 here to this 5, and the other 5 here to this 5, I have this such that I will close these two together. This one here, I will ensure it meets this point here. So this is what we're having here. Next procedure is to take this one here. I'll take this point, connect it to this, and this one to this, such that I'll take this tip here. I'll take this tip here, down here, right? Then I'll use my French curve to draw a curve this way to save time, right? So I have this here. Of course, what is my next task? I'm almost through. The only thing left is to draw there are 2 circles here, somewhere around here, right? 2 circles there. The circle is going to be diameter of 15, right? So the task is quite simple. That's 7.5. Half of 15 is 7.5, right? 7.5. So alright, my task now is that I will extend this one. Since I've extended this one to this point here, right, I'll try to get out 30 per se. From here to here is 30, from here to here is 30. This point 30, I will extend that point 30 downward, this way. The height of that circle is at point 44, so measure 44 upward, 44 upward to this point 44. I'll take it down this way, right? So at this point here, I'll measure 7.5. So if I measure 7.5, this is 5, 6, 7.5, right? Then I can just take my compass, 7.5 to this point, then you strike an arc here again, right? So I'll take my T-square down this way, and this one too down this way, this one down this way, and also the same thing, 7.5 up and down, right? So transfer the point down. So I have 4 points. I'll take my French curve, this one here, and I'll look for the one that suits the 4 points, right, using my pencil. So which one will meet the 4 I have here after representing the figure in isometric projection. See you in the next class.